Angus-kun, Dean-kun, ohayou gozaimasu. Hopefully you had a good relaxing weekend. I've created this video to see if I can give you some support for continuing drafting your weekly or daily routine task. We'll just give it a trial, see how you go. I'd love to get some feedback on how this went for you today when I see you tomorrow on Tuesday. Cut and pasted the task instructions from your task sheet for this assessment. You're just creating your weekly or daily routine, but just want to review that you're going to be writing this on Genko Yoshi paper in Japanese for the first part of this assessment. For the second part, you're going to be asked to create an audio or video recording of some sort so that I can capture you actually saying the text that you prepare. This can be used, you can accomplish this by using Screencast-O-Matic, a video software like I am right now. You could do a voice over PowerPoint, or you could also just record like an audio MP4 file, and that should do the trick for you. And so that will just be the first part and second part of the task. However, I want to highlight that in case you aren't able to type in hiragana, for the second part, if you're creating a voice over PowerPoint, you can do that portion of the assignment in Romaji. Okay, so you should have already created a table or a schedule to include, and this will just help you to kind of plan out your writing. You've been asked to identify verbs in your chart and translate them into Japanese. In order to do this, it's really important to start identifying whether or not they're type 1, 2, 3, or irregular verbs. Here's an example of how these verbs change from the plain form or casual form, which we have along this column here, and how we change them into the present tense positive or affirmative and present tense negative. For instance, if we have the type 1 verb iku, which means to go, it's going to change to ikimasu or ikimasen, to go or not to go, or to not go. Taberu means to eat. We change that to tabemasu or tabemasen in the polite form. For miru, we change that to mimasu or mimasen. And we have the irregular verbs suru and kuru. They change to shimasu and shimasen, and kuru changes to kimasu, kimasen. One verbs end in the u sound. All you have to do to change them into the mas form is to drop the u sound and change that to the e sound before adding the mas. So for instance, if we have the verb go, iku, we drop this ku sound but change it to ki. So iki, and then add the mas or masen ending. Verbs end in eru. All you have to do is drop the ru and add the mas or masen ending. So taberu, you just drop the ru on the end and it becomes tabemasu or tabemasen. So type 3 verbs end in iru, and all you have to do is drop the ru and change that to a ri sound and before adding the mas or masen ending. So iru, to stay, means irimasu or irimasen in the polite form. So apologies, I made a bit of a typo on this slide. It shouldn't say type 3 verbs. These are just the irregular verbs. There's only 2 of them, so that's kind of nice. We don't have a long list to memorize for this or anything. But the irregular verbs come is kuru, and all you do is drop the ru and change it to a ki, iki, or sorry, not iki, but kimasu, kimasen. For suru, it's going to change to shimasu or shimasen for the polite form. Provided a list of common Japanese verbs. Hopefully this helps with a bit of vocabulary for you and stimulates some ideas for what you could discuss. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my cursor. It disappears a bit. We have shimasu, ikimasu, benkyou shimasu, renshu shimasu, mimasu, tabemasu, arukimasu, kaimasu, imasu, kairimasu, tsukurimasu, and yomimasu. This is how you could go about saying that you go somewhere at a specific time or on a specific day. In green, you have the day, or it could be the time, specific time of the day. and you say ni is a locational particle. Remember that the particle is always tied to the word in front of it. So getsuyobi ni means on Monday. And then you plug in your location. I just chose school, 学校に行きます. So on Monday, I go to school. 月曜日に学校に行きます. So my extension question to you is, how would you say on Monday, I walk to school? This is how you could say that you do an activity at a specific time or on a specific day. So once again, it's following essentially the same pattern as before. You're saying your day or the time at the beginning in green. So getsuyobi ni, and then you state your activity with a suru on the end. So benkyou shimasu. Benkyou shimasu. Getsuyobi ni benkyou shimasu. On Monday, I study. I'd also like you to practice saying how you like something or dislike something. So for this part, I would like for you to select one of the things that you do in your routine and tell me whether you like it or not. So for instance, you might say, サッカーは好きです. That means I like soccer. Or you might say, スノーボードは大好きです. I like snowboarding a lot. If there are dislikes, all you have to say or use is the word kirai or daikirai. So you might say, and I'm guessing this might be true for a lot of people, but benkyou wa kirai desu. Or you might say benkyou wa daikirai desu. I don't like, or I dislike studying, or I dislike studying a lot. I think this pretty much wraps it up. This reiterates what I said at the beginning. Once you've created a draft, you're going to be asked to handwrite this text on Genko Yoshi paper, which we'll cover tomorrow. You can find the files for Genko Yoshi paper and writing under the file section in Teams if you want to work ahead.